Well, hold on to your social media. The showdown over privacy in the digital age. Apple says it will fight a court order directing the company to help the FBI break into the encrypted phone that belonged to San Bernardino terrorist Saeed Farouk. The feds believe it is important evidence that could be on that device, but Apple CEO Tim Cook says the FBI is asking for the equivalent of a master key that could compromise the privacy of all iPhone users. He added this in a statement addressing Apple customers. Quote, "The U.S. government has asked us for something we simply do not have, and something we consider too dangerous to create. They have asked us to build a back door to the iPhone. In the wrong hands, the software, which does not exist today, would have the potential to unlock any iPhone in someone's physical possession," end quote. Now, two things jumped out at me, Sandra, with this. They don't have it. He said it twice, which makes me think they probably
Which is a very popular understanding that they would be able to do it.
Yeah, quickly, even, if he said it twice. That's what it tells me. The other thing is, do we really want to trust the government that continually gets hacked to have that information? Now, he didn't say that. That's my question.
Well, they're asking Apple to break into the phone. They're not saying, Apple, provide us how you are going to be able to do this and break into this encrypted device, right? So there's a big difference there. So Tim Cook has responded to this, and obviously he's talking to customers and warning, if you want me to comply with the government, I'm putting all of you who use iPhones, I'm putting all of your security and all of your personal information at risk. He said the government's demands were chilling. However, there's a flip side to this. If indeed Tim Cook and his company Apple can actually help and get into this phone and tell us things about these killers, why would you not want to cooperate? If you're Tim Cook, why would you not say, we're going to try to do everything we can within our means to help you while still protecting our customer?
So the question from Cook's perspective, Chris, is that once this is created, it's out there, it's potentially gettable, and I guess my brain kind of goes to, well, would the government want maybe to have some secret access to that? What are your thoughts? I mean, is it worth the risk?
It is a fascinating sort of philosophical, ethical discussion. We don't trust the government with the keys to the kingdom. We don't want to give them to them. Tim Cook says they don't exist, but we're not sure we believe him. We want to get the information out of the phone. And what a testimonial to the security of the iPhone that the NSA can't get, or the FBI, the CIA, all of the government resources we spend trillions on. They can't get into your iPhone. That is absolutely extraordinary.
That is awesome.
But there is a wormhole out there. And if suddenly the ability to tap into everything in everybody's iPhone appears, it brings us into a dark place, and we have no idea where it comes out. You remember the stock market collapse, the way it collapsed in one day in 2008? If iPhone security disappeared in a puff of smoke and smartphone security disappeared in a puff of smoke, the domino effect around the world could be unlike anything we've ever seen before.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, and purchasing the ungettable, it would have no bounds, wouldn't it? I mean, wouldn't somebody out there just pay anything for what you call, I wrote it down, a wormhole?
Yeah.
It's not even that. It's the legal precedent that it would create. I mean, think about it. It would essentially collapse all consumer-level encrypted technologies, which affects each and every one of us. So if there is a credible threat, the government believes that on this phone there could be information about future attacks, the onus is on them. It's a great exercise in how our legal system works. They have to then prove it to a judge that they can and should be allowed to ask Apple, and Apple should be compelled to get on this phone. Tim Cook is saying we're not going to budge because we don't want to jeopardize and set this kind of legal precedent. Good for him. He shouldn't. It's very different than what we talk about, though, on Outnumbered, about how we want technology companies to cooperate with the administration, because we're talking about public data. This is private. So when we think of the Tsarnaev brothers posting about the Boston bombings, that's public information, that they were posting jihadist videos. We want them to work with us on that. But the administration is pressuring them not to cooperate. In fact, the administration is pressuring tech companies to go after right-wing extremists.
That's right.
That is where they're reallocating and reallocating the funds and the monies in the Department of Homeland Security budgets. I have the report. We've seen it many times. People need to be aware of this.
Right-wing extremists as defined by left-wing extremists.
Exactly.
The other thing in all this, Rachel, though, that's really chilling, you know, you talk about what's secret, what's private, and what they want access to now. There was a lot that was public about this couple in San Bernardino. And we had many conversations here on the couch where, well, we just didn't go down the road of why the government might have missed that.
Well, the government doesn't want to profile anybody, but then they want to get into the phone, you know, this encrypted phone stuff. It's it's really kind of hypocritical. The other question I have is, by making this particular spat so public, aren't those guys already covering their tracks, whoever they were communicating with in the Middle East?
Oh, if they haven't done it already.
They're long gone.
But the hypocrisy on the part of the Apple is also interesting. I mean, I ordered a dress the other day. I looked up pregnancy dresses, and I can't stop
and that is lovely, by the way.
I can't stop getting. I didn't even buy the dress, and I can't stop getting advertisements. So there's some hypocrisy. They're sharing my data with all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to believe anymore. But I agree. I don't trust the government that hacks. You know.
But also remember that Tim Cook is keeping his company's best interest at mind in his company. So the argument for him to actually provide the correct information to get into this phone is that he's saying that this is going to reveal all the data and information on all of your iPhones, and that may not actually.
He's got to make the apocalyptic argument in order to prevent the government, bring people over to his side. But if he could take a plane down there, take the phone, and open it up, then he would be revealing something to the world that could destroy his company.
Well, and not even that. Think of the administration we have. Under any normal administration that doesn't use power to target its citizens, maybe this could be reasonable that Tim Cook would budge. However, the precedent under this administration would open all of us up to targeting the same way the IRS did.
The flip side, too, for Tim Cook, he's got to be looking at this. If I play down the road and play this game, then my competitors are going to promise that they won't.
That's right. That's
and then
true.
what do you do?
Yeah.
All right, the battle lines being drawn in the Supreme Court right now. President Obama taking political aim at Republicans who say they will block a vote on his nominee to replace the late Justice Antonin Scalia. Is it fair for the president to be slamming them as obstructionists? Oh, the name calling.